Welcome, FlipoClock fans. Something a little different in FlipoClock Fan Studios today. We have a Lumitime by the Tamura Electric Corporation USA, a Japanese company operating in the United States. It is the Lumitime model CC-11. The Lumitime CC-11 appeared in advertisements from 1975 to about 1979. You can see it boasted 1 5/8 inch high numbers. Now, often the ads describe it as coming in white, but some ads say it's ivory. We'll see about that later. This ad says it came in white, black, and simulated rosewood. Here again it says it's in ivory, designed to fit any decor. We learned that it has illuminated orange bar numerals plus catnap repeat alarm. I want to thank John from Canada for sending in this clock so that I can finally get a look at one. Thanks, John. What we're looking at is a very curious clock. I'm sure you've seen these and other models on eBay. We want to get a closer look at this clock, what's going on with it and how it works. Also, why it makes a bit of noise when running. We also want to see about this case color. How you get into the clock is to remove the middle side screws. The other 4 screws hold the mechanism in place. Alright then, we've got this clock all apart. So we've got the face off of it here, and you can see underneath there's a screen. And then this goes over the digits. This is a turning part here, and this is the gearbox. So I don't hope to explain everything about this clock, but just a quick survey here. So this particular model uses these neon bulbs, and then of course the circuitry. But what you can't see is that the mechanics here, these are wheels with contact points on them. So it's using electronics, but it's using these wheels with contact points underneath this stuff here. And once it turns, you can see, you may be able to make out that's a 3, 4, 5. So what's supposed to be happening here? That's the rotor here that's going to allow the clock to work, of course. Now, it's supposed to be spinning counterclockwise. It can spin clockwise. So that would make the clock run backwards. Now, what we would anticipate is that there is a mechanism in the gearbox that would prevent backwards movement. However, we've come to learn through a wonderful YouTube channel, Franlabs, that there was probably a device under the rotor that would have stopped that, but in many cases it seems to have disintegrated. Now, there is an inherent problem here. If you happen to be setting the clock the backwards direction, so that's 3, 2, 1, and you can see that better if I put this on here. 0, 48, 45, 44, 43, 42. If you happen to be setting this backwards when the gear is coming around such that, well, this is the gear that actually does it. So it's trying to change the time. I don't know if you can see that. So it's coming through, it's grabbing the wheel and changing the time like that. And you're trying to go backwards and it's trying to go forwards. You could start that clock to start running backwards. So what you need to do, what I need to do is once I get this gearbox back on here, when the clock changes, and it wasn't like this before, I need to make sure that this top opening here is at the top. So this goes around like that. I need to make sure that you can tell that the clock's getting ready to change time. So that's at the top. Here, a little while ago, it was changing time about right over here. And then why is that important? Well, if you know you're somewhere between here and here, you shouldn't be turning the clock backwards. If you know that the clock's getting ready to change, if you're up at the top of the hour or top here, You need to not be going backwards. You need to give it stop. As soon as it gets away from there, you can go backwards all day long, because this can be a pointer of where the state of this gear. That's pretty much it. Those are the things you have to watch out for. So I'm going to clean this up, and I believe this gearbox, this is the only thing that's going to be making any kind of noise really. So I'm going to get some PAO grease on it inside of the box on the gears to see if that'll silence things out. It probably wouldn't hurt to look inside there and see if anything needs lubricated as far as grease. I don't know if I really want to take a chance doing that, but I'm going to put some grease on here and see if that quiets the motor down a little bit. And then I think I'm going to try to whiten the case. I can't tell, but it may, to me, it may be that's the original color. Normally I'd expect to see some fading. So I believe this clock may not have been a white clock. You see how it's kind of uniform color? I might be wasting time if I tried to whiten it. And I'm starting to think that. I don't want to cause a problem. I couldn't help myself. I had to try to whiten it. Well, we ended up with a clock that still makes a little noise from the motor, but not as much. And oh yes, under that yellowing we find a beautiful ivory clock. You can see it compared to the white Copal 201 there. The Tamura Lumitime model CC-11, a fascinating and curious clock, and a fine vintage timekeeper from the 1970s. Well, thanks for taking the time.